Hey guys, it's Mercedes and welcome to America Reads Fun Learning Activities. Did you know that our activities focus on different topics such as history, science, health, and even arts? In today's video, we'll be focusing on PE by creating our own ring toss. So let's get started with our vocabulary words. Today, we have 3 vocabulary words. Our first word is aim. Aim is to point at something or to set a target at a specific thing. Our second word is toss. Toss is basically when you throw something using your hands. And the third word is technique. Technique is a way you do something. There's games that you have to use technique in order to win and so on. So let's go on with Jala and she will teach you the fun activity she has planned out for you.
Hey guys, it's Jala and welcome to my activity. Before we get started, let's go over some materials that we're gonna need in order to complete this really fun activity. So to begin, you're going to need some paint. It doesn't really matter what colors, you can use whatever you like. You're gonna need some scissors, some paint brushes, a cup for your paintbrush to go in that will also have a little bit of water, something to put your paint on, some glue, either a cardboard pipe piece or the inside roll of napkins, and you're gonna need some paper plates. Awesome. Now that we have all our materials, let's get started. So we're gonna get everything we don't need yet out of the way, and we're just gonna start with this first. So this is our cardboard tube. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of red paint and I'm gonna start painting it. It doesn't matter how you paint it. Feel free to do it however you like. Okay, so I'm gonna go with red. I'm just gonna paint it red. You don't have to paint it if you don't want to, but I am. Just to give more color to our toss. Okay, now that that part is red, I want the bottom to be purple and like a mix of red. So however that comes out now is what we will be taking. And I'm doing this first because I'm gonna be gluing this to a piece of the plate, and we want to make sure it has time to dry a little bit first. And you don't have to go all the way to the bottom, just in case you don't have a lot of time for it to dry, because we will be gluing the bottom to the plate. We don't want our fingers all messed up and covered. Cool. And then now I am going to take a single plate. And like I said, I am not going to waste any time for you guys. And I am going to glue this to the bottom of my plate. And then I'm going to let it dry while I work on the rest of my project. And I'm using super glue. You guys can use whatever kind of glue you have on hand. And if you want, you can also even paint the plate if you want. And then you just want it kind of in the middle as best as you can. All right. And super glue really is not working too well. But now we are just gonna let this dry for a little bit and move it out the way while we work on everything else. Let's get into making our rings that we are going to be tossing. So just remember that when we're making our rings, we are going to be cutting out the middle just so that it can easily go over the paper napkin holder. And I'm going to start using colors red, gold, and green. And just make sure that you're somewhere where it's okay if you make a mess. And I really have no basis here. I just want to paint them. You can like make a cloud, a picture, or you can just paint it blank like me. Whatever you want to do. And I want all my top to be red. And it's gonna kind of be, well, my plate is gonna kind of be split into threes. The first plate. And depending on how much time you have, you can make as many plates as you want. As many rings as you want. You can do as many decorations as you want. Cool. So that's it for my red. And I'm basically gonna just try to use the same brush. If you do not have markers, or if you do not have paint, you can also use crayons or markers. You guys don't have to use paint if you don't want to. But I'm using paint because it'll make my plate a little bit heavier as well. Now I'm gonna go with yellow. I love this yellow, it's so bright. You see, guys? And like I said, you can either draw pictures on this or just paint it. It is completely up to you. And I'm just gonna get a little bit more yellow on here. Ta-da! And then now I'm gonna rinse that yellow out. And then I'm gonna go in with my green. Cool. And I'm remembering that I do have to cut out a little bit of this middle part. But before I do that, I'm just gonna go in really quickly. And I am going to go back over it with some red. Because I'm realizing I'm not going to be cutting off a super huge amount of the white, so I did want to go down a little bit more with all my colors. That way it's just not a bunch of white after I cut out the middle, and that way my hole isn't too huge. And then also going back in on my yellow fellow. Cool. And now I just am going to let my plate dry. And due to time, I'm just gonna do one plate. Okay, so now let's give this a second to dry while we work on another plate or whatever.
Thank you, Charlie, for showing an amazing activity in order to help us have good aim and actually have good eye coordination when we're playing sports. Because sports and activities, this is important when you're trying to aim. For example, basketball. In basketball, you're trying to aim the basketball while shooting and making it into the hoop. Because the point of the game is to score the most points. Now, let's say soccer. Soccer, you try to aim and kick the ball into the goal. And whoever makes the most goals wins the game. And also for baseball. For baseball, while you're batting, you're trying to aim and hit that ball and get a home run or even get some bases. So that is why it's important, like this activity, ring toss, you're trying to aim, have good eye coordination, and trying to see how you can better yourself in aiming. Because every day you practice and practice when you're trying to get better at sports, because eventually you'll get better with practice, because practice makes perfect. Now, PE is really important because it aims all of you to have physical competence and knowledge of movement safety and their ability to use these to perform in a wide range of activities, because it will help you guys have an active and healthy lifestyle. So this is why it's important to have ring toss when you're trying to aim and trying to see if you can get the most points when doing an activity. So, thank you guys for joining us in this video. We'll hope to see you guys really soon. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below if you have any questions. Hit that bell button and to get more notifications to see when our next videos come out, and we'll see you guys next time.